we go. That's pretty good. Hi, what's up? You're probably wondering what this has to do with the video. Not much. I just wanted to do it. The MCU, baby. We all know it. It grossed over like 32 billion at the worldwide box office. It has like 37 movies or some shit now. And like, I think it's like 16 TV shows. Not to mention the fact that they have like 30 more of each on the way in like the next 2 years. Clearly, the MCU has been an unmatched success in Hollywood. There's no denying that, okay? This video isn't gonna be more about, oh my god, is the MCU dead? Oh my god, has the MCU failed? Because clearly fucking not. If you have $100 million, 100 million doubloons to throw at one guy to be in your upcoming movie, you're not failing. You're the furthest thing from it. But, and I think this is a big but, like, I don't know, what's a fat guy I can, like, name? Like a Josh Gad butt, maybe, I don't know. I think it's a completely fair question to be asking if the universe part of the MCU is dying. With the release of Fantastic Four, we are officially just one movie away from the release of Avengers Doomsday, which is supposed to be the big kick into full gear finale of the multiverse saga. Avengers Doomsday is supposed to lead us into Avengers Secret Wars, and it's supposed to have us sitting there like, oh my god, that was the whole universe, the whole last couple of years makes complete sense now. And I'm sorry, but I just don't even think it has a shot at capping off this universe well at all, even if it's a great movie. Back in the Infinity Saga, or the good old days if you will, each project was building to something but could also be enjoyed on its own. You could throw on Guardians of the Galaxy and have a good time. You could throw on Winter Soldier. You could throw on Infinity War and have a good time. But the magic truly came together when you put them together and they created this whole big puzzle that was like a Mona Lisa. Now that this multiverse saga is coming to an end pretty quickly here, we should have most of the puzzle put together and see the big picture, how it's gonna look when it's done, just with a few missing key links, right? Absolutely not. It's more akin to like a blind paraplegic trying to put a puzzle together. You know, some of them have fallen off the table and they're on the floor now. Some of them are flipped backwards. Some of them just go to a different puzzle completely. Your autistic cousin's sitting in the corner and he's just chewing on some of them, and we just try to forget about those pieces. They never even existed. There is no cohesive universe here at all anymore. If it wasn't for Marvel just coming out and giving us a cast list for Avengers Doomsday, we'd still have barely any clue who the fuck was in that movie. Even with the cast list, there's still people sitting there going, I don't know about this one. This seems pretty wrong. I think I know better, and I think this is not right.
Is that everyone? What, you wanted more?
I feel like you have to know you fucked up when you blatantly tell the audience something and they still don't believe you. Just sitting there like hands on their head like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? Is that... Yeah, like... You hold on, buddy, okay? Okay. I'm sure Marvel and Disney are both throwing every penny they have at these Avengers movies to make sure they're great, but that doesn't matter. They don't need to just be great movies. They need to be satisfactory payoffs to what is now 6 years of movies by that point. They need to feel like that last puzzle piece that really ties the whole thing together before putting it in a frame or some shit, and it's kind of hard to do that when you're missing 20 fucking puzzle pieces. You little sack of shit, you know that? Who the fuck do you think you are, buddy? And no, I haven't seen Doomsday. I haven't read so much as a line from Doomsday. But I can almost guarantee I'm not gonna walk out of it being like, oh my god, Harry Styles playing Thanos' brother? That makes so much sense. It makes sense. That big fucking Celestial that just decided to fucking dip and all the Eternals just decided to not do anything ever again? That makes sense. The Arena of Kang getting hyped for like an Ariana Grande concert or some shit? That makes sense! Doctor Strange's weird third eye? Come on, bro. Brother in Christ. I'm not asking for a lot, bro. How much tape do I have to put on you to stay up? Where's the tape? Oh, damn it. This is so much effort for a stupid fucking joke. That should be enough tape, right? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Hercules. He's there. He's there. He's every fucking where. Where the fuck is that guy? Do you get where I'm going with this? Because that's good, because I forgot a good bit ago, so I don't really remember what I was talking about, but let me look in the script here. What made Avengers Infinity War and Endgame so memorable and special? Because that's the comparison here. The amount of payoff and the way it brought the whole universe together, even in tiny little moments. Like Cap wielding Mjolnir, the I am Iron Man line, Spider-Man getting his Iron Spider shit, activate instant kill, Tony giving Peter a hug, Cap fighting Cap. All these little moments made the film so special. Tell me, even if they find a way to tie together all the unanswered questions in the universe right now, which I fucking doubt they will be able to, but maybe they do. But even if they do that, what special little moments are there gonna be for fan payoff? Like, She-Hulk twerking with Doctor Doom to like Fetty Wap or some shit? Actually, I take it back. That would be pretty awesome to see. That one's for free, Kevin. I feel like even though Marvel is still succeeding monetarily for the most part, the universe is officially dead, and there's a few reasons for that. Film flow. I don't know. I have no clue if that's effect's gonna work. I'm gonna try it though and see if it looks good at all. It probably won't. I feel this is one I see go unnoticed a lot, and I feel like that's a mistake because I feel like it's a big reason why Marvel is struggling right now. In the Infinity Saga, every phase ended or at least had like an Avengers movie. You know, sometimes they had a little encore afterwards, but like there was always an Avengers movie, and it helped to really refocus the narrative of the MCU. Each Avengers movie was kind of like a refocus innator or something, I don't know. Now in the multiverse, would you even believe if I told you we were technically in phase 6 now? Probably not, because what the fuck is even the point of phases? They don't matter. They always feel like they're randomly picking movies out of a hat and going, yep, we'll place that one there, that can come out there. And granted, a little bit of that was probably thanks to COVID fucking up the release schedule a little bit, but like, you could have done better than this. Come on. I think Avengers films at the end of all these phases would really help the same way to refocus the narrative like it did in the past. Or even if you don't want to do Avengers films, I will reorganize the films you have right now to make the universe make more sense without changing a thing. Well, you would actually have to change one of the movies a good bit, but only one, and that's because the movie sucked. We'll get you just listen. Phase 4 would just be the Thunderbolts phase. You kick off with Black Widow and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, introducing us to most of that main cast. You can then do Hawkeye. That's great. That works fine because you get more of Yelena in there and stuff like that. And then you still do all those random little projects that don't necessarily tie into the Thunderbolts too much, but they still add a little bit. You slowly introduce these characters, and then their movie, Thunderbolts, comes out November 2022 and ends phase 4. Not Black Panther for some stupid reason. Thunderbolts comes out right then. So now phase 4, you don't even really touch on the multiverse this phase. You mainly are just touching on, my god, the Avengers are gone. Where the fuck do we go from here? You have the Thunderbolts get kind of shoved into that slot, but the audience doesn't really take them as the Avengers, or nor does the, like, in-universe, let's say the audience again. Maybe at the end of phase 4, you give your first tease of, like, the multiverse and Doctor Doom doing something in the multiverse. Maybe you just say fuck it from Kang from the beginning, because, you know, I'm sorry if a director comes to you and is like, okay, get this. I'm going to take our big Avengers baddie, and, he's going to be killed by some ants. So maybe you should just like scrap the project, okay? Have the balls to do that. Now you go into phase 5, and this is where you get more of the multiverse introduced. You don't focus mainly on the multiverse though, you just introduce it. Like maybe you have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness come out here, and Spider-Man No Way Home, and you kind of introduce the concept of the multiverse, but it's not the main focus just yet, because phase 5 would end with Captain America Brave New World, and you completely change that movie to be Sam being tasked with the mission of rebuilding the actual Avengers. The public is in an outcry because they don't like Thunderbolts as the Avengers. They want an actual Avengers group. So Thunderbolt Ross comes to Cap and Sam and says, hey, rebuild this shit. Get it back on track. You introduce Shang-Chi here. You can introduce all these different characters that you already introduced over the course of it. And then those guys end up being the new Avengers. You don't have fucking Captain America Brave New World be some stupid Hulk sequel. You don't ruin the Captain America brand name like that. you make Captain America a sort of impromptu bringing the Avengers back together, and that's the whole goal of the movie, is just rebuilding the team. Maybe you have people like I said, like Shang-Chi's in there. You probably have Shuri you can introduce in there. You obviously like Spider-Man, maybe even Kingo comes in there to keep the Eternals in there somewhere. But whatever. This leads into Phase 6, where this is now where the multiverse goes fucking bonanza. You kick off with Fantastic Four, and I would say you even change Fantastic Four to happen in a different universe. I like that it happens in a different universe, but have it be focused on Doctor Doom. Have that be where you introduce Doctor Doom, and you finally see what the fuck Doctor Doom wants with the multiverse and with Loki or whatever the MacGuffin is. And instead of having the Fantastic Four kill your big bad with ants or some dumb shit, you have them get fucking destroyed and he kills their planet and they have to take off to Earth 616, the mainline MCU, where then that's where that Thunderbolts post-credit scene would happen. They come back in, they're like, oh shit, he's coming. And we finally know what Doctor Doom wants right at the beginning of Phase 6, and we know how fucking powerful he is, because he just destroyed the entire Fantastic Four world. Then you get a lot more of these multiverse projects, and maybe you introduce another character or two, before capping it off with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, where now it makes sense, because it flowed better. That's all you needed to do was make it flow better. Right now it's just so broken apart and doesn't make sense. And granted, yeah, there might be some hiccups with my plan that you would have to work out, but it would still, like, I feel like on the top of my head, I just created a plan for them that flowed so much better and worked better. And yeah, obviously, the whole Kang thing, I got to deal with it after the fact, after they moved away. But I feel like they really did have a plan to move away from Kang from the beginning. Because I'm gonna be honest, if Kang was... They knew they fucked up with Kang. If they were still doing good with Kang, just Jonathan Majors having his whole ordeal wouldn't have killed the character. They would have just recast. They've done it before. I feel like I can make a whole video going more in depth on my little plan there, but that was just kind of the cliff notes of like how it could have been much better just by reorganizing and changing a few of the movies. You wouldn't need to have done some massive overhaul. You just literally change the order and don't make Captain America a fucking Hulk sequel. No anchor being. There's no way that effect's gonna work at all. You know in Deadpool and Wolverine when they call Wolverine like an anchor being, and then when he dies, his universe slowly dies? Yeah, that's kind of what happened to the MCU, because Tony and Cap were kind of our anchor beings, and now that they're dead, the universe kind of feels like it's dying. Steve and Tony, and some other cast members, but mainly those two, were consistently featured throughout the whole Infinity Saga. They both got trilogies, they both were in multiple Avengers movies, they both showed up in different fucking movies that weren't even related to them, and it helped make the universe feel more alive. These are our two guys, these are the two guys we're following, and that allowed for all those special little payoff moments by the end. In this new saga, it seems like as soon as we meet a character, they can't wait to forget about them and just move on. Like, what? Did you not learn a thing from your own Infinity Saga? There was only like a handful of characters that have made multiple appearances, and generally it's like 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Tony Stark made 9 appearances in the Infinity Saga, and even when he wasn't there, he was still felt in the movie. Like, they would be using Stark tech, or they would mention Stark or some shit. Like, he was always still present in some way or another. It felt like the universe was really alive and connected, because we had these two characters that the universe literally revolved around. You knew when an Avengers movie came out, you were like, okay, Tony Stark will be there, Captain America will be there, Thor will be there, Hulk will be there, Black Widow will be there. There were staples going forward that you knew would be there. You weren't sitting around for years going, so Doctor Strange, no, not him. Okay, like Spider-Man, he's probably he's got a, oh no, not him. Well, Star-Lord will return, so he's, oh no, not him. So like who? I feel like they have a plethora of characters they could have set up really well to be the main guy in the Avengers and the MCU just in general. But then the second they introduce you to these characters, they go, what if we just gave you a new character? You want to meet Moon Knight? You want to meet She-Hulk? You want to meet Shang-Chi now? You want to meet the Eternals now? You want to meet this? It's like, you gotta stop. But still watch our dumbass Ironheart show, cause my face story's here, guys. Can't wait to never use him again. That's not even to say they failed at setting up characters. I feel like a vast majority of the characters I've loved and wanted to see more of, not all of them, I feel like they've failed pretty badly at setting up Sam as being the new Captain America. The bitch whines about everything. He just sits there and whines until Bucky has to come and talk him up. Oh, I don't deserve the shield. Cap was wrong to give it to me. Just for Bucky to come and be like, no, you are Captain America, Sam. You're right, I'm Captain America, bro. He was always the guy who was like, we can do this. We are the Avengers, you know, we got this, bro. He didn't stand up at the Avengers battle going like, oh, my shield's cracked. Everyone's down. We're not gonna do this, guys. We lost. Just for Bucky to come and be like, no, you're Captain America, bro. You're right, I am Captain America. That being said, I do like Yelena. I think has been really fun. She's probably been a standout in the MCU right now. John Walker, Sentry, most of the Thunderbolts. And Shang-Chi. I would throw Shang-Chi in there, even though we haven't seen Shang-Chi outside of Shang-Chi. But like, he was still fun in that movie. Maybe fucking use a character again, Jesus Christ. There's more I could talk about. Meaningless post-credit scenes, which I kind of mentioned already, but I kind of went off on a tangent about that, but you know, whatever. Switching big threats mid-saga, which yes, the whole thing with Jonathan Majors happened, but it was still very much their fault. They could have recast, they fucked that up. They were like, this is a perfect moment. RDJ, please, bro. How much money do you want? We have dump trucks, bro. We're Disney. And even though they've switched to Doom, and I'm excited to see what they do with RDJ as Doom, I think that could either be really cool or they majorly fuck it up and it goes awful, but it's gonna be a big flip of a coin. We still don't know why we should be intimidated or have any reason to like know what his goal is. And we're a movie away from Avengers. Remember in the ending credit scene of Avengers? Immediately, the first time we saw Thanos, I was like, oh my god, this is why we should be intimidated of this guy. When that guy's sitting there talking to him, he's like, to challenge him is to court death. And Thanos just turned around and smiled. That was intimidating, bro. I'm gonna spoil the end credit scene of Fantastic Four, so if you haven't seen it, skip like 10 seconds or something. But versus the end credit scene of Fantastic Four, where he's like picking on a toddler. Like, it's a pretty powerful toddler, I'll give him that, but like, bro, pick on somebody your own size. Like some ants, bro. But yeah, all this is to say that the MCU is dead. It is officially just the MC, the Marvel Cinematics, some of which is good. But it is no longer the cohesive universe we once knew and loved. I have a feeling Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars are gonna be good because they're throwing all they can at them, but they're gonna be unsatisfactory at the end of the day because you can't possibly pay off anything in them. So they're probably gonna end up doing what they've done this whole saga, where they like gather artificial hype from bringing in old cast members from movies you used to like. Cause remember that guy? You like that guy. This guy? You like that guy? That guy? He's cool. He's back. You like that guy. So aren't you hyped for our movie? Because we have all these guys. They're all here. But then you sit down and you actually think about it and you're like, this made no sense whatsoever. You're telling me Doctor Strange went behind the Sorcerer Supreme's back to breach the privacy of everybody on Earth, to erase their memory because a high schooler was sad he didn't get into college? Was Doctor Strange hoping that Tom Holland would let him get some back shots in? Why did you do this? Oh, because you needed Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire to get back into the universe somehow? Okay, cool, yeah. So yeah, the universe is dead and just built off artificial hype nowadays. And it's sad to see, but the only thing it's built off of is that cheddar, baby! And I only hope that the mutant saga or whatever the fuck they do next can get back on track, and honestly, maybe just a hard reboot's in store for them. I don't know. I just wanted to complain about this because I'm white, and white people like to complain about ultimately meaningless things, and at the end of the day, I'm still gonna watch all the movies, so I don't know what the fuck, like, I'm part of the problem.